Alright, hi everybody out there in YouTube land. How's it all going? So today, it's the long-awaited run-through teaching session, whatever we're going to call these things, for one of my favorite techniques. It's going to fly into other techniques later on down the road. There are a lot of things that this is going to tie into. More importantly, it's more or less the last of the yellow belt techniques with a horse stance in it. And it does have that cat stance that we worked on before in the basics number 2. It is Captured Twigs. And here we go. So, looks fun, doesn't it? Here's the thing with this technique. It's for a bear hug. Now, with a bear hug, you're not going to see that a whole lot anymore. I'm sorry. You're just not going to see some of the techniques that are taught in the Kenpo system. It's really more as a point of reference, which is how all of these techniques really should be looked at. It's not as much the mystic end-all, cure-all for self-defense. It's more a combination of basics, a series of basics that are put together in sequence to deal with your attacker, either from the standpoint of here's the attack, let's move forward, or just dealing with how the opponent's going to respond. And this kind of delves into that more than, say, sword and hammer, the one that we were talking about before. So they're grabbing you in a bear hug, they're going to squeeze your little ribs and break them all up and all that. So, similar first move, you want to check, and you want to anchor that elbow. We'll get into why in some of the other techniques, but you really want to drop that elbow, keep that grab firmly in place because you don't want them to move. You're going to step your left foot to a horse stance. I want you to bring that arm back by simply tucking your fist back into your ribs. So bring it up like that. That's going to be your back elbow to whatever is open. From there, you're going to hit with that hammer fist like with sword and hammer. So elbow, hammer fist, just going to get them to bend over a whole lot. From there, you're going to step to that cat stance. You're going to stomp on that foot, whatever foot's close, or even kick their shin. But for the sake of argument, you're going to stomp on the foot in that cat stance. From there, you're going to step back out to a horse stance. And what I want you to do is just bring your arm up to the side and compress it into an elbow. Now this is going to be what's called an obscure elbow. They're really not going to see it that readily from any other standpoint than I'm bent over because you just hit me and stomped on my foot and all the rest of it. And it's going to bring them right into that. I mean, you're going to hit, stomp. They're going to be bent over at this point. That step back out is more or less an unwind, and you're bringing that elbow up to catch them with it. And then walk away keeping an eye on them. We're not going to get into cover-outs yet. That's going to be here a little bit later because it's more of a maneuver, and it's kind of a specialized one. So the basics is what's going to come up next. Number 3, which is the big end-all of stances. It is a fighting stance, or what's called a neutral bow. Really, most of the techniques you're going to see from here on out are going to have a neutral bow at some point in it. And we'll kind of cover why later on, but that's Captured Twigs. Later.